Starting with any negatives and getting those out of the way, there's the possibility of some measure of conflict here related to challenges, criticism, or disagreements, largely about not following the rules and a defensiveness over that nonconformance. Maybe you're arguing over changes, new regulations, or the refusal to meet expectations. And in some cases, maybe you're going to declare your independence from regulations and negotiations, or you have a cavalier approach. So you may be dealing with personalities that are actively different in some way, and the tendency can be to argue one's point. If you happen to be dealing with the dark side of the moon, this generally implies a negative response to questions. And it could even warn of some approaching misfortune, particularly with regard to health and travel. But for a few, if a surgical procedure is necessary, any kind of pressing health problem can be resolved through some new and advanced treatments. Now, this energy might be more inwardly directed too. Maybe this is a time of frustration, depression, or disappointment. But while you can't direct events, you do have the power over your perception and your reaction. And this influence says to prepare for what's coming. If you can cultivate acceptance, then emotional stability will come through the wisdom that everything has a purpose. And that may lighten that burden. Whatever the current state is, it is not going to last. Now, on the flip side, there's a very positive possibility that maybe you're going to undertake a personal project or a new venture with resulting success. And maybe you even feel a surge of extraordinary physical energy that can be applied with some positive results. For some of you, this might include the introduction of advanced technical equipment or sudden and unexpected events that occur that require you adjust to new conditions. Maybe there are some sudden surprises through advancements or a change in your career. Some of you, it's the development of an interest in electronics or mechanical engineering, aeronautics, computers, or even astrology. And it's possible that maybe you have an appearance on a public platform of some sort. So new and unusual friends can enter your social circle during this cycle. Maybe you're going to join a group or an organization. And masculine figures also play a significant role in events. For some of you, this is a new romance with somebody that's very magnetic and exciting, and maybe you connect to this person under some kind of unexpected circumstance. The Queen here suggests social skills are also important, where the art of compromise or testing the waters, timing, that all plays a role. And it will include a water person. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces could be their sun, their moon, or their rising sign. Maybe you're dealing with a healer, an intuitive, a creative, or somebody that deals with emotional issues. This could be a mother figure or a woman that you connect to on a deep level. Maybe this is your ideal partner or your ideal person that embodies femininity. But whomever this is, they have a role to play. And if that's you, you may choose to be the trigger point for either creating harmony or disharmony. So this is a cycle where you're very analytical, maybe even calculating, because you don't want to lose. And the Three of Cups says there's a lot of opportunity for exchanges of emotions. Maybe there's some kind of celebration taking place where you get to connect with others and share your heartfelt feelings, appreciation, gratitude. Others of you, maybe, there's some third party interference. So it's a cycle where you really have to take into account what you're being told and why you're being told, because it's likely that there is some kind of agenda, whether that's benign or otherwise. And so you really have to sift through what you're told, whether it's fact, it's trivia, it's foolishness, it's gossip, and consider the source and the reasons behind it. So it's a cycle where you're going to be getting a lot of important and pertinent information, but it's also a cycle where you're going to be getting some nonsense. So for you, the idea may be to stay behind the scenes, take it all in. You may use that as your super strength to achieve or overcome some situation. Maybe you yourself have a secret agenda. And maybe you do that not necessarily for any kind of dark reason, but that's just what helps you keep your sanity, your peace of mind, keep your objectivity so that the problems you encounter don't overwhelm you. So blending in maybe is sometimes helpful for you. And you may have this very strong ability to please, to charm, to create this calming or positive aura, this soothing effect that makes the group feel more confident. Because it's possible that without even much effort, you have the power to breathe new life into a situation, a dead issue, solve a difficult problem, or settle a dispute. And in the end, everyone feels good about it. You create win-win situations. So people who can further your interests will start to appear out of the blue, out of nowhere, ready to oblige, ready to assist, ready to support and help you. Now, if you're operating under a challenging circumstance, you may be sort of a damper. Maybe you become the blockade. You deliberately start to spoil a situation or delay matters because you're irritated, you're unhappy, and even though you may try to hide that, it becomes very obvious. For some of you, again, I spoke about the possibility for romance, and some of you may actually meet somebody that you consider to be the love of your life, or some kind of infatuation that starts to take over and somewhat begins to control your life. Now, this could be in a positive way, where their influence inspires you to do better, be better, to live your best life. Otherwise, though, it can be you've gotten involved in a situation where your relationship has become a disruptive force in your life. So at your best, you have this no-nonsense attitude, even though you're also very caring. And there's a strong sense of self-reliance. You don't look at any one situation or one person as the end-all, be-all, as your answer to everything. You're not putting all of your eggs in one basket. However, if you're overstressed, others may feel like you're not taking your commitment seriously. And so it could be that self-interest is more so at play. You may be charming, but that's overshadowed by some self-indulgence or some self-interest.